Hi, I'm James Richard, and today we're going to start this competition steak. I'm going to do a little bit of trim work. As you see, I got a nice ribeye here. Got my spinalis, my eye, and this is a tri-heart, so there is a little bit of tri-muscle right here. Should be a good steak, so let's get to trimming. Now, if you're just doing backyard, you probably just leave all this on and not really be concerned with it that much. But for a competition steak, it really needs to look nice. So we're going to get all this fat and all the cartilage and extra stuff on this steak off, because you don't want to judge biting into that, unless, of course, you want to finish last. So let's trim this thing around. I'm just going to hit this little fat pieces here, get those off. We don't want nobody biting into that. And we're going to go all the way around the ribeye. All the way around, because if you left this stuff on, like I said, you'd probably get some judge bite down into that, and it may not be very good for him. And plus, when we sear this thing here in a little bit, you can get some burnt marks on there, and that's going to make your steak look ugly. And you don't want your ugly steak sitting in front of a judge. You want it to be the best looking steak you could possibly get. So take that tail off, work our way around the ribeye, and just try to be as gentle as you can. You don't want to really tear up the ribeye you got. You just want to get all that extra off. All right, so see, all we're really taking off is that. You don't want that. Judge don't want that. I'm going to throw that to the dog here in a minute. All right, so I trimmed this up real nice, and what the judges are going to be looking for, it doesn't have to be round or whatever shape, but they want to see the back half of this ribeye. So once I sear it, it's going to go to a judging table. They're going to have a cut man. He's going to cut this steak in half. They're going to take this steak and they're going to look at this back half, and they're going to look at the lines on it and see how pretty it is, see if it looks juicy, see if it looks appetizing. They're not going to judge this front part, because that's the part they're going to eat. So they're going to judge this back half. So we want to make sure that our lines are nice and straight and that they go all the way to the edge, because if the lines don't go all the way to the edge, they're going to count off for that. And I'm trying to see how I want this steak to fit in my turn-in box, okay? So I want that spinalis facing the judge. When they open that box, they have to see that spinalis. If you have that spinalis in the back, they're going to be eating this backside. That's not the tender side. This is the tender side. We want to go here. So I'm just kind of shaping it just a little. You don't want to force the ribeye into doing anything it don't want to do. And that's about how I want it. So I'm going to get my string. Pull me a good little bit out. I just take it and make it even, like this. And I start in the front, come to the back, do 2 loops. 1, 2. Bring it in. You don't want to over tighten your steak. You just want it a little snug, okay? If you over tighten it, this fat pocket that we cut the divot in, that thing's going to shoot right out when you put it on the grill for your sear marks. I'm going to wrap it back. 2 more loops. Bring it in, and just a little pull on it. You don't want it tight, because you're going to have a blowout with that fat pocket if you get it tight. Then I'm just going to tie a knot, and there you go. Now, some guys, they'll leave a little tail on there. I personally don't, because I've had it flip over and kind of mess up on my turns. So I cut that tail all the way off on the string. And there we go. So now our ribeye is tied. This knot is going to be my director when I get to those grill grates. I already know that in order to get the diamonds that I like on it, it has to be set at a certain angle. And this is what I'm going to use to do that. So before we get to that point, I'm going to get some toothpicks. And I am going to protect this string, because sometimes it likes to roll on you. So I'm going to go 1 underneath. and one above. And I'm going to do that all the way around the ribeye, especially where it starts meeting, where this fat meets and that connective tissue. I want to protect that. I don't want that to come apart on me. So those little areas there, not only is it keeping my string in place, it's keeping that muscle connected. I'm going to spin around. Same thing on this side, where that spinalis is meeting. I'm going to push down a little bit on that fat and run that toothpick in. Go to the other side. Push down that fat again. Run that toothpick in. Pushing down on that fat just kind of helps keep it down throughout the cook process. So there we go. Now our string is protected. Our ribeye is nice and tight. Shouldn't go anywhere throughout the cook process. Now we're going to season her up. All right, for today's cook, we're going to be using some SCA Texas rub and some SCA steak rub. Now I'm just going to layer these flavors on. Flip my lid. I'm going to put this Texas rub on first. Now I'm going to go all the way around the steak on the sides. Get it good and set in there. All right, then I'll go to one side. I want to make sure and get that spinalis nice and covered because that's where our judges are going to take their bite from. Just kind of press it in there a little bit. Even though it's called a rub, don't rub it, just press it. Really work that spinalis because you want to impress those judges. They're only going to take a bite about the size of the end of your finger there. That's it. So you want to make sure they get a good impression of what you're serving them or what you want them to have. Again, we're going to press it in a little bit. Go back to my other sides. I'm going to go on with my steak rub. Really nice color. Should make for a beautiful steak in the end. All right. So now we got our steak, got our rubs on. I'm going to let this sit for about 30, 45 minutes. I really want to see this steak sweating. See that moisture coming out, drawing those rubs in. So after we see that, we're going to get this bad boy on the grill. All righty, we're out here at our PK grill. About to get some sear marks on this beautiful ribeye here. See how that color is kind of sweated into the steak? Looks really good. Should get a real nice color off of this. Got my duck fat. I'm gonna get my grill nice and covered. I like to kind of hit the ribeye just a little bit. I got my knot right there. I'm gonna set it right where I want to get to. All right, start my minute and 10-second timer. Close my lid. When that timer goes off, we're gonna get in here, we're gonna lift our steak up, take a look at those grill marks, and then we're gonna rotate. All right, our timer went off. We're gonna take our grill grate spatula, get underneath there, come straight up. So we're gonna rotate our steak, find our knot, go to that set point we had, set her down. I'm just gonna give her a little press there, just to make sure she's on those grill grates nice and good so it gets a nice even line all the way through. We got our timer set, close our lid. We're gonna pick our steak up, we're gonna work on that other side. Pull our steak off, let's flip her over and take a look. Our diamonds, well, I like diamonds. Every cook's a little different, but I like diamonds. We get it all the way to the edges here. They're not overdone, it doesn't look burnt, so I think we're good on that. So let's work on this uncooked side. Same thing. Hit our grill grates with some of this duck fat. Our steak as well. Find our knot. Go to our set location. Set her down nice and easy. Give her a little press. Make sure she's on that grill grate just right. All right, so we just rotate it. Now for those grill marks, I don't want it real dark, but I want it dark enough where it's not gonna wash out on me when I go to the side to bring that temperature up. So just be careful not to get it too dark. You don't want it burnt because that's not gonna taste good to the judges, but you want it dark enough where it's not gonna wash out on you. And it looks like our timer is just about up. Grab a ribeye, come up, check it out. Clean our grill grates off. Give a good spray. Get our knot, find our marks. Set her down nice and gentle. Make sure that that whole area of the steak is touching these grill grates. So you get a nice, even grill mark on that ribeye. All right. Grab a ribeye. Take a look. Now at this point in time, this is when I decide what's going to be my side up in the box. I know some people make that decision beforehand, but I like to look at the final product on both sides. I kind of like this side a little better. I'm going to check our temperature. We're sitting around 95 degrees. So now we're going to set her off to the side. We got our hot zone and our cold zone. And I'm going to let this steak come up to our desired temperature. Might take a little while, but we're going to get there. But we're going to bring it up real nice and slow. All right, so we're at the temp I've been looking for. And for the competitions, you want to be at a medium, okay? Different cooks pull at different temperatures. That can range from 129 to 140. Also depends on the steak. So looks like we're there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this steak up, get her set to the side, and get it resting. All right, our steak's ready. We're getting ready to box it, but before we box it, we gotta get these toothpicks out of here, all right? You can't leave those toothpicks in. You'll get disqualified. I know I use 8 on every steak. So pull 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you turn it in like this, you're gonna get disqualified as well. We gotta get that string off of there. I've done it. Trust me. You don't want to just throw away money. So gently remove your string because you don't want to tear up your ribeye. Get our string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 toothpicks. Always have a friend of mine verify that the string is off and the toothpicks are out. We help each other out like that. I'm going to place this steak spinalis facing the open of the box, facing the judge. Then when they pull that steak out, they're going to cut it right down the middle at 50%. And then they're going to see this ribeye just like that. Get that nice pink center. That's what you want. You want that medium pink center. And they're going to judge you. Closer to that you are, better off you're going to be. They're going to look at these lines back here in the back. They're going to make sure they connect all the way. They're nice and dark. They're not overcharred. And then that judge is going to take a bite of your ribeye. You're going to eat that spinalis. The good part, you know. Now they're going to use plastic. They're going to have a plastic knife and a plastic fork. And as he's cutting it, or she, they're going to feel for, is it a good cut or is it a tough cut? Because that's going to go against your texture score if it's a tough cut. So they just get one little piece like this. That's good stuff right there. Texture is great. Taste is great. Man, I tell you what, it's hard to beat that. That's really, really good. All right, well, look, thanks for joining me. I'm James with News Barbecue and More. Until next time, y'all have a blessed week.